Hello and welcome here live in Bittinger Stadium for a non-conference matchup between the IU Indy Jaguars and the Purdue Boilermakers here on Big Ten Plus. We welcome you guys inside the booth. I'm Tia Solkaitis, and alongside me is Max Beery. And Max, Purdue coming off an 8-0 victory against Eastern Illinois last week.
Yeah, Purdue's been rolling straight through the season, thus like to lead off your order. But when you've got that real meat of the order coming up in the 3-4 spots, you just need someone to get on base.
And strike three is called, so Gossett starts off her day with a strikeout. And now coming up to the plate for Gossett gets ready to deliver. And strike three. That's two strikeouts on two batters here for Julia Gossett to start things off.
I think it'll be tougher going against Cable.
And first ball is hit down the right field line. It's tailing and drops. Rounding first and heading for second is Cable, and she's in there with a two-out double.
For the Jaguars this season.
And that one's hit out to left field, but that one will be settled under and caught by Mariah Poehler to end the inning. So a two-out double, no damage done.
Today, Chloe Banks is getting the rest, and so Poehler moves up to the first spot.
And a ground ball over to third base, but Poehler uses her speed to beat out the throw at second, so all runners are safe here. And now two runners on base for Delaney Reef.
For the Jags, has turned into 2 on and no one out.
And another ground ball hit. This time Cable does get the ball, gets the out at third. Runner will be safe, so now Reef at first, Condon at second, one away.
That's a good job.
Ferris set to deliver. Here's a 3-2. A fly ball out to right field. That one will be caught, but tagging and getting over to third base is Condon. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs as Gossett is able to move the runners over. Ferris delivers the first pitch. A delayed steal going play at the plate, and then it's out. Condon gets caught going for home, and IU Indy gets out of the inning with no one scoring.
Yeah, that's a great read of the first and third. Just very few at-bats and plate appearances thus far. She's actually third on the team. And considering she's only started 12 games, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
And she walks there on ball 4. Gossett looked like
defeat.
A swing and drive out to right field, and Condon's able to make the play out there. She fires it back in. Runner will stay at first, and 1 out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, perhaps the Purdue outfield playing a little too shallow there.
Working up that count this inning. As not paying attention is Gossett, and a stolen base there. Great heads-up base running by Paulus Dominion. Time was never called. Gossett with the full count. Inside corner, rang up strike 3 there. Great pitch from Julia Gossett, now 2 away in the second. Gossett looking to try and get out of this inning. A 1-2 count, and strike 3. She got it past her. Another strikeout here for Julia Gossett. As we
run to Eastern Illinois in that one. I mean, definition of dominance from Klochek.
As we see a bunt attempt there from Bailey, but it goes right back to the mound. And here's the 3-2 from Ferris. Line drive base hit, and that one gets in between the third baseman and shortstop for a single here with 1 out. Nice piece of in Julia Gossett. Line drive up the middle, and that one will get through. Scarmardo pushing it to third base. It's going to be a close play. She gets there, and heads up base running there from Jordan Ramos to take second on the long throw to third. Runners at second and third now with just 1 away. This week's game, got a base hit, a double, 2 RBIs for her as she pops this one up in the infield. Communication and caught by the shortstop, Corrine Martz. And now they're Ferris able to get the second out, just 1 away from getting out of this one. A bunt, pushing it over to first base, and that is going to be a hit for Ashlyn Campbell, and a run scores as Sage Scarmardo crosses the plate. And now that brings up the top of the order and Mariah Poehler.
Yeah, that's a fantastic bunt. Just a phenomenal drop down there from Campbell, and IU Indy had really no idea who was going to go grab it. She's always a threat to get a base knock.
And this time she chops one over to first base. That one is picked up by Pfeiffer, and that will end the inning. So the Boilermakers score 1 on 3 hits, and they go into the top. Gossett fires and strike 3. A nice job there from Julia Gossett to get the first out of the inning. Her 6th strikeout of the day. Now in trouble of possibly picking up her 2nd strikeout, which she does. Gossett blows another one by her for another strikeout. 7 here in the 3rd inning for Julia Gossett.
There from Gossett, but Wagner not biting.
And this one's a line drive to left field, and that one is caught by Mariah Poehler. And that ends the inning here in the top of the 3rd.
With a 9.55 ERA to boot.
And a pop-up in the infield, called and caught by the first baseman, Kinsey Pfeiffer. She does a nice job.
As they always should.
At all costs on those infield pop-ups, you want to have the pitcher not catch those, but on the very next pitch, a nice swing and base hit single for Delaney Reef up the middle. Stillwell to deliver the 0-1, and that one is a sharp ground ball from Gossett off the hands of third baseman Molly Cable and fired over eventually by the shortstop Corinne Martz, but not in time. Gossett is able to reach safe one after going down 0-1. It's done a nice job working back in this count. Stillwell tries to not lose her, but she does, and that's ball 4. So now the base is loaded after the Bailey walk. And Scarmardo hits one out into left field. That one is caught, tagging is Reef, and it's going to be another run on the sacrifice fly from Scarmardo. As Reef does a nice job getting in off the catch in left field by Isabel Wagner.
Yeah, Scarmardo just doing the job here, getting the ball elevated into the outfield, making it easy for Delaney Reef to score on that one. They really had no shot at getting her. She moved pretty well, even for a catcher. And so a sack.
A run here. 3-2, 2 outs. Stillwell fires in, and that one's going to be ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the last time we saw Frank's bat against Eastern Illinois with runners in scoring position, she was able to hit a 2-out double, as this one is popped up to the right side, and ball is just barely out of play. Good hustle there over it
with Stillwell.
And that's going to be ruled ball 4, so a walk here sends a runner home and increases the Purdue Boilermakers lead to 3.
Shifted way to the left, really expecting an opposite field hit from Campbell.
And that one is high and stuck in between home and third now, and out. Bailey thought about going home on the pass ball and tried getting back to third, but could not in time. A great play there from Alex Kiemeyer to get out of that inning.
Would be a lightning rod for a comeback. It's definitely her.
And that one's just flown out, barely out of the reach of the first baseman, Olivia McFadden, as now 2 for 2 on the day is Molly Cable with a single and a double. She starts things off hot here in the batters. That's definitely a threat here with a runner on base as she smokes one out to left field over the head of Poehler. Rounding around the bases is Cable. She's going to be stopped at third, and runners in scoring position here for the Jaguars with nobody away.
Yeah, that was a flamethrower. Well, Gossett knows that this is the most dangerous part of the lineup, 3, 4, 5 hitters. Everyone after Pfeiffer is probably going to be much easier work.
And Pfeiffer does a great job there, taking the outside pitch for ball 4. So now bases loaded.
And the mindset here for IU Indy is get the ball in the air, get the ball in the outfield. Let's get some runs across.
Ball is in the air. Scarmardo facing the sun is able to grab that one for the first out. They did the right thing getting the ball in the and strike three. Gossett gets back-to-back outs after loading the bases, and now just one out away from getting herself out of this jam.
Yeah, that's her 7th strike. Play has got to go to first for Purdue.
And here's a 3-2 and a strikeout. Julia Gossett falls into a bases-loaded no-out situation and does not get phased one bit. A pop-out and 2 strikeouts.
Heck of a lot of success. In fact, they haven't scored a run, as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, against those Big Ten opponents. And that was the first time where they really felt like they were really threatening, and then nothing comes of it.
And Enfield was playing in.
Bowler, she reached on an error and grounded out.
And some contact down there at first base as Polar runs into, well, the new first baseman. Looks to be.
PA guy got a little confused too. Announced Maura Condon, even though Polar was still in the box.
Well, now it's about to be Maura Condon as Polar is set down on strikes. Let things off, and now a strike to Condon. Condon a chopper to third. That one's thrown over to second, and that one will be held as Condon is able to reach first safely, but a fielder's choice. A single for her last inning. Another single for her as that one finds a hole on the left side of the infield. Runners on first and second now. Stillwell delivers the 2-1. That one's hit to the second baseman, and that one will be caught as Carly Cavanaugh ends things off here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 hits, no. As a bunt goes right back to Gossett, she fires it over to first to McFadden, and that's 1 away.
And IU Indy just trying to get on base any way they.
And here's Gossett with a 1-2, and that's the 3rd strikeout on Stevens today. 9th strikeout for Gossett today. And here's Gossett. A fly ball hit out to center field. They're into a mix of Boilermakers, but Polar calls them all off, and she makes the catch. And a 3-up, 3-down inning once again for Julia Gossett here in the top of the 5th.
On the base paths in between third and home to end the bottom of the 3rd frame.
As we see a ground ball over to the first baseman, and that is going to be an out. Nice play there by Lexi Garden to get 1 out in the. Dickerson trying to wrap up this at bat, and she does. A drop 3rd strike, but a tag on Scarmardo, and that's going to be the 2nd out of the inning as Dick to 2-2. And a fly ball out to right field. It's fading in, and a diving grab out in right field by Kennedy Warbritton. She does a great job coming in on that one, and she gets. As Gossett looks to set down Cable for the first time, as we see the batting averages for each team. And that's exactly what Gossett does. She gets another strikeout for herself. And here's Gossett with the 2-1. And that one is going to hit Dickerson right and square in the back. So Dickerson will.
Long as possible. They've already made Gossett work a heck of a lot in this game, already up to 93rd, this being her 94th pitch.
And strike 3. Gossett rings up another one. Her 11th strikeout of the game. And the. Now here's Gossett and strike 3. Cavanaugh goes down on 3 strikes, and that's the 12th strikeout. Tie. The 2-1. A fly ball out to left field high, but it is caught by the left fielder. Wagner doing a nice job over there and left to corral that. The full count. And that one is going to bounce in there, and Campbell finds herself going down to first base with a walk. She has now been on base 3 times here today for the Boilermakers, and that brings up. And she does, and that will be ball 4. So now runners at first and second with just one away and more.
Kind of conceded control as well. It doesn't feel like they're really taking as great of an advantage of that kind of control as they really should be. I mean, you could definitely argue. I mean, Purdue's already left 7 runners on base with a threat of leaving 9 on base after.
Garland looking to get out of this one. And that one's smoked by Reef, but straight at the left fielder and Isabel Wagner. Couldn't hit that one much more on the screws, but that will end it here in the top of the, or in the bottom of the 6th. Purdue still with a 3-0 for 2 today. As here's a fly ball out into left field, and Polar settles under that, and that's the first out. She's able to find the inside corner. A 2-2 in the outside pitch, swung on and missed by Warburton, and that's now Gossett's 13th strikeout today.
Continue to work this game.
Gossett with her 112th pitch of the day. And strike 3! Julia Gossett blows it past McPherson for her 14th strikeout of the afternoon. And now that's going to be a 3-0 win for the Purdue Boilermakers over the IU Indy Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, decent game from both teams. I think IU Indy can really come out of that one feeling pretty good. Obviously, one of those chances didn't really go as well as they would have hoped. But still, they really did a nice job today of competing with Purdue. Purdue's offense a little bit lackluster today, but still, they were able to get the job done.